Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on a Sunday afternoon. First, I have to mention that the trolls are out in force. I don't think I've ever used that remove from channel button as much as I have in the last 24 hours. I guess my last video was kind of a trigger. I don't know. But anyway, earlier today, Miss Dawg and I went to and met my parents for lunch, and a great visit. But I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but my mother is German. She was born and raised in Germany. She moved over here at a young age in the United States, but she was a young girl during World War II. And I've asked her off and on over the years. She hasn't talked about it much, but today she talked a bit about some of her experiences during that time. This is towards the end of World War II, and her city was a target of the Allies. And she told us a bit more information that I've never heard before. So I'm going to put these thoughts down, information down on paper, organize my thoughts, and that'll be on the next video too. So very interesting. So stay tuned, look out for that. I have to mention the Ukraine's resilience, man. I mean, I think Mr. Putin has, I think he may have underestimated him. You know, I think he thought that going in from about 3 or 4 different fronts would just collapse the regime, the country quickly. It hasn't yet. I mean, they may lose here in the end, but of course, but not without a fight. I did see where, this was before I started recording this, that they're supposed to have talks tomorrow, maybe on Monday, that a delegation from Ukraine is supposed to meet Russian officials along the border of Ukraine and Belarus, along the, I'm going to mispronounce this, but the Pripyat River. Anyway, so see what happens there. Hopefully that is positive. But in the meantime, it rages on. And I've been watching videos and of the people and some of the fighting and the aftermath. Of course, it's very interesting. But yeah, these people are tough. I know one particular. It was a young lady. She was seeing her family, her parents, off on a train to go west to get out of there. And this was a young lady. She looked like in her 20s. And her husband or boyfriend there beside her. And she said, "We're staying. We're going to fight. You know, I don't have military training," she said, "but we're going to fight. We're here." And there were other civilians there, armed and ready. So, got to respect that. Things have escalated quite a bit today, though, with the rhetoric and such. Putin ordered the his nuclear deterrent forces as on high alert. Said that he's raised the alert status for his nuclear forces to a special regime of combat duty as Russia and Ukraine battle. This is going into about the 5th day here right now. But anyway, Putin ordered the Russian defense minister and the chief of his military general staff to put the nuclear deterrent forces on special combat duty. The move signals that tensions could boil over into a nuclear war. This was being talked about by some American officials. A DIA intelligence officer said that, this is her view, but he is now threatening a nuclear escalation. This is a veiled threat, or maybe such a veiled threat. He just met with his chief of general staff and minister of defense. He is escalating the conflict into a nuclear domain in order to de-escalate, that is, to topple Kiev's regime quickly. I believe he probably thought he was going to take out Kiev pretty quick, you know, collapse it all. Putin did speak at a meeting Sunday or earlier today with his top advisors and said that NATO powers had made aggressive statements and that the West was imposing hard-hitting financial sanctions against Russia and himself. So they have escalated the sanctions, but I mean, with Putin, I mean, he's always, I've watched Putin on these videos and whatnot, TV for years. And he strikes me as, he's always struck me as very calm, calculating, a cool cucumber, you know, a cool kind of character, very measured in what he says, very intelligent, very wily. He's a wily fox, of course. But this war so far is not going probably as quickly as he thought it would, so it's not going as well as he would like. And until this invasion, I've always thought of him as pretty stable, actually. I'm questioning that now, and I may be off, but strikes me as a little more unstable now. So that's just me. That's just my take. You know. But yeah, I still think the cyber attack, the cyber part of this is the big thing as far as the way it affects us here in North America, in the United States. Is my biggest concern right now. I was watching some video earlier of Russians. This was footage in Russia. I don't know what town, what city it was, but it was Russian citizens seeking in ATM machines. They were waiting in long lines, trying to get their money out of the machines. So I don't know if maybe that's due to the sanctions, or maybe they're just worried, you know, just like we are, about the banks, you know. So and then I also saw a report that that Belarus was thought that Belarus may declare war on Ukraine too. Now Belarus has been, you know, very they're basically almost part of Russia. They're a separate country, but they've been allowing Russian forces to stage the attacks, you know, from the north of Ukraine. So there is that. But this is a dramatic escalation as far as putting his nuclear forces on special combat readiness. So boy, that raises the ante now. We will see. The next couple of days could be very interesting. But like I said, I think the cyber issue is something to really be prepared for right now. Be prepared for anything, of course, but think about your cash, think about your money. I'll just say that we're taking out more cash right now. You know, so I don't know, you know, if the banks were to get hit with a big attack, you know, when will you be able to access it? You know, so that's something to really consider and something to think about. Somebody was also asking me what they should do with their tax return. I mean, should they cash it, just save the cash, take it out of the bank, pay down on debt? You can't go wrong with paying down debt, especially if it's credit card debt. I would try to do that. Get your house in order as much as possible. The less debt, the better. And then save what you can. That would be personally what I would do. Anyway, there's a lot going on. It can be very anxiety driven, you know, and it can really be or anxiety producing. So we have to keep living our lives. Don't OD on the news. I know I do that too much. Mrs. Dawg is like, you know, I can do a little bit of it, dude, and I got to check out for a while, and I'm doing something else. And she does her thing. But you know, in the Bible, it says, "Do not be anxious." You know, do not worry, for tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. Jesus said that. So I know it's difficult. You know, we are human. But he said, do not worry, do not be anxious. We will have trials in this life, on this world. But as I've said before, ultimately, we are citizens of Christ. Our trust is in him, Christ Jesus. So keep praying, keep stacking, of course. Let me know your thoughts. Until now, take care. Be safe out there. God bless you. See you soon.